You're listening to 88.7 WLUW Chicago Sound Alliance, broadcasting from the campus of Loyola University. It's live from the Heartland, featuring Michael James and Thom Clark. On today's show, we have Roseanne Magada of the Loyola Park Advisory Council, Michael McDevitt, Loyola Phoenix Managing Editor, and Fred Klonsky, blogger, radio host, and retired art teacher. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hey, good morning. Bienvenido. Brothers and sisters, hermanos y hermanas, welcome to another edition of the Live from the Heartland show. We got a real nice lineup today. We got Roseanne Magada, we got Fred Klonsky, and we've got Michael McDevitt. And we're going to have a real good time, talk about some serious stuff, get a few laughs in. Katie Hogan is off in Tacoma, Washington for a wedding. I got my partner here, Thom Clark.
Good morning, Michael.
How are you, Thom?
I'm doing pretty well. We want to tell our listeners that we'll have a complete political update along with news about our fundraiser for Ken Griffin around the bottom of the hour with our guest, Fred Klonsky.
Isn't that the guy that supported Rauner big time?
Well, don't give away my secrets here, you know. Okay. He's supporting one of the mayoral candidates, too, so we figured he needed a little bit more help. We also want to talk about the national gun violence emergency that ought to be declared by somebody. It's really a crisis down there on the border. I'm getting all kind of messages and texts and stuff from people in El Paso saying, we need more troops down here. Because it's a crisis. It's a humanitarian crisis that we got to do something about. They're bringing in more dope than ever. You know, more people are crossing. They got terrorists everywhere. It's a crisis. Well, there are also millions of Americans going over the border to get cheaper health care in Mexico. So
yeah, they are, and I'm looking at those teeth options.
There's this real crisis that we really need to deal with here. But we'll talk more about that later in the second half of the show, because we want to talk about a very important event that's been going on in Loyola for some years now with Roseanne Magada, who is with the Loyola Park Advisory Council. And in particular, we want to talk about next weekend's Being American, a journey in Black history and music, which will be at Loyola Park from 12:30 to 2:30 at the Loyola Park Fieldhouse on Greenleaf. Welcome to Live from the Heartland.
Hello, and thank you.
Good morning
to you. What is this little festival performance going on next weekend?
It is been going on for about 18 years, and with paying homage to some real pioneers in the Rogers Park neighborhood that began it, and we have to give credence to Katie Hogan and Aura Martin Harris, who's no longer with us, and Selena Derry, Awilei, and Dr. Mott, and quite a few others that started this program, and we've just continued it on. And so this year, the last couple of years, I should say, we turned it around a little bit and started doing the art with the children. So we began reaching out to CPS art liaison teachers in the Rogers Park and Edgewater and Uptown neighborhood, and have gotten a nice gathering of about 10 schools to participate with the children's art from elementary school to high school. And it's just become a really more artistic event, bringing the children in and helping them understand the history of Black art and in Chicago and around our neighborhoods.
So this performance, this festival, this celebration, because there's all that kind of stuff going on for a couple hours. Is there going to be art displayed on the walls?
Yes, we will curate the art from all the students that the teachers bring in, and we usually have about 80 pieces.
Wow.
Which is really phenomenal, just to put it all together and see what the children, the kids, the students create. And that is the joy of it, allowing children to be artistic. And so this year we're having a monologue from Sin High School, their theater group. They're going to do a Wilson monologue, and we're looking forward to that. August Wilson.
Wow.
So looking forward to that one.
I remember one time I went to the event, and there was a lot of, I guess, African-inspired food Mm-hmm. Are you doing food stuff this year?
We've scaled the food stuff down because we want to focus on the art from the students. So we have light refreshments, but it's really about the student art. It's really about educating the students about Black history in the art of Black history. So that's our focus.
You do have performances from the Joe Hall Dancers, though.
We do have Joe Hall, the man himself.
This might be reason enough to go to this thing.
He is our guest speaker, Joe Hall.
Phenomenal.
And we're so excited. I was in tears when he said that he would come and speak to give a little history of the dance and art in Chicago. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm so grateful because the whole program is volunteer, and everyone shares their time in the program, and I'm grateful. My heart is just grateful.
Do you think we'll get a sample of how he teaches dance? If not do it himself, or is it just going to be a lecture?
You never know with Joe Hall. He's so charismatic, and he's so amazing.
Roseanne Magada, how did you get involved with not only the Loyola Advisory Council, but the actual African American celebration?
I was invited by Katie and Aura and the ladies who I talked about. They invited me, and one afternoon I was walking by. They were doing some volunteer recruiting one summer, and they said, "Hey, you look like somebody." And I was like, "Hi." So I've been a part of it since 2001.
Okay. So with the emphasis on art, this is sort of a natural outgrowth of other stuff the Advisory Council does, like the much more famous
Artists of the Wall
community gathering,
Festival.
Artists of the Wall. So this is something that the Advisory Council actually helps the Park District with a lot of different kinds of programming.
We do.
Why don't you talk a little bit more about that?
We do, and we from the funds that we raise from Daddy-Daughter Dance that we just had a couple weeks ago, and the Artists of the Wall Festival that we have is every Father's Day weekend, and we just celebrated our 25th year last year. So from those funds, we give scholarships to those students, those kids that are in need at Loyola Park. And that's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do.
I have a question. I'm not trying to be too cantankerous here, but I have a granddaughter who has two moms. And she's like 9, I think now, and has been leading a fight in her school to end the daddy-daughter dance and make it a parent-daughter dance. And she was actually successful. And I'm just wondering, I'm giving you advance notice that this could be an issue for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
We're open to community changes. So
yeah, things are happening everywhere.
Things are happening everywhere. So you just have to keep an open mind, especially being in the community and listening to what the community asks.
Folks who are familiar with Rogers Park and Loyola Park will know what we're talking about with Artists of the Wall, but could you just describe for our other listeners in Chicagoland what we're talking about exactly?
The Artists of the Wall program, we have like a 60-foot breaker wall, and we have over 115 artists come out and participate on this wall for 2 days, so Saturday and Sunday, and we give away prizes. And you can go on our LoyolaPark.org website and sign up, and it's a minimal fee, and your fees go toward the scholarship programs that we give to the students at Loyola Park. And it's a fun family community event. We have music, we have games, we have art boards for the students that we wash over, and it's been going on for 25 years.
And new art every year.
It's new art. It's new art every year. That's right. We whitewash the wall, and then we paint all over it, and it's on the wall for an entire year. And it's just wonderful. And it began with the idea of not having graffiti on this wall. with Lloyd.
Some of that artwork is close to graffiti, though.
Well, that's the interpretation of art,
of the artist.
So that's what.
And it's hard to get into. I mean, it gets filled up. So people who are interested might want to go look at the website and get in on it, because
I think this is the real genius of this annual art fair, if I can call it that, because people have seen graffiti on the rocks at Diversity, it used to be, or Promontory Point in Hyde Park, but this is organized community art. And it may look like graffiti to some, but actually,
I was just throwing that in there. There's some beautiful paintings. There's some really high-level stuff as well as some rougher edge stuff.
Yeah, it really is, and we give a theme every year, and
can you give us a hint about this year, or you don't know yet?
We know.
You're not telling.
I'm not going to tell you right now.
We'll have to bring you back.
You'll have to come back. That's right. Come back to June and we can talk more about it. But go on our website, all our social media sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can see what we do at the Loyola Park Advisory Council, giving back to the community.
So this is next Sunday, February 24th, at the Loyola Park Fieldhouse at 1230 West Greenleaf.
Yes.
From 1230 to 2:30.
Yes.
A celebration of African-American history. Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing along with the Joel Hall dancers, and I want to come and hear Mr. Hall himself. That will be a lot of fun. But there will be this juried exhibition. Do you know what schools are involved this year?
We do. We have a Cereal School, Cruz Campus, Joseph Brenneman School, Gale Community Academy, Joyce Kilmer Elementary, Mather High School, Nicholas Sen High, Sullivan High, and Enrico Tanti. So
there's some schools I've never even heard of. That's great. Things are happening.
And we may have a few more coming on board, but it's going to be a really amazing event.
So there were some tragic drownings on the lakefront this past year, which I know was a topic of concern at the advisory council. Do you know what might change going forward in the next year, or if you've made any recommendations to the Park District? One of the issues being how long lifeguards are actually at the beach.
We have had that discussion in our council meeting, and it is still an ongoing discussion of lifeguards staying on a little bit longer or coming on a little bit earlier. But it's still a fluid discussion, and we haven't made any decisions.
Yeah, they really squeezed the hours on the lifeguards over the last 5 or 6 years. I don't know. It's like they used to be there a lot earlier.
Right. Now they're coming a little bit later.
Yeah, a couple hours.
Yeah, so...
Well, having been a homeowner for 28 years, I've always appreciated the particular activity going on at the Loyola Park Fieldhouse. My grandson participated in the summer camp this past year.
Awesome.
Loved it. It's a great opportunity for the neighborhood kids to meet each other as well as the neighbor itself. It's a great center. We just need to get that elevator fixed so we can...
It's fixed.
Well, and let's have a shout-out.
We can do community meetings there.
Yes.
Shout-out to Mary Hopkins, who is retired now, who was just a wonderful person to have ahead of the park. I don't know, can you give us any insight into any changes, how the new administration
Mary is still with us on the council. She
Fantastic.
Helps us all the time. She gives us such... inspiration, and she's been very helpful to Frank, who's come in to be the new manager of the Loyola Park. And it's been a wonderful transition over the last year, and we couldn't be more grateful. Absolutely.
Right on. That's good. That's good. Well, we want to thank you for coming on live from the Heartland. And I know you got to go back up there to the wonderful 49th Ward and do some creative work, either on this program coming up, or we certainly have elections coming up. It's a dynamic spot, the 49th Ward, Rogers Park these days.
It sure is.
Thank you so much, Roseanne Magada, and we look forward to having you back on the show when you can tell us a little bit more about the theme for this year's Artist on the Wall.
Outstanding. Thank you so much.
You're listening to Live from the Heartland on WLUW 88.7 FM. Please check us out on youtube.com/Heartland Media.